in my initial complaint about the LSTA donations, the result of that was Taylor Townsend called y'all into an executive session. You went in executive session and you came out, and you, some weren't here then, came out and voted to dismiss it or null process or not move any further with it because they didn't have any jurisdiction over it. Since that time, we've requested records of the investigation be provided from Mr. Townsend, and we were told that there weren't any. I have learned that Mr. Townsend's assistant, Chantel, had numerous pages of evidence, possibly as many as 17. Don't quote me on the 17, but I know she had numerous pages of evidence, which also identified at least 3 respondents, named 3 respondents who would have been guilty of the straw donor. And when asked Mr. Taylor for that in this commission, we were told that that wasn't possible. He didn't have any records. Well, I'd like to, I'm not an attorney, but there's 3 attorneys here today. I'd like to read you 2 things in this contract. These legal services are to be provided under the immediate supervision of the staff of the State Police Commission and subject to secondary review of the Department of Justice Office of the Attorney General. My question is, we gave y'all a ruling by the 5th Circuit Court of Appeal, which would seem to differ from Mr. Taylor Townsend's opinion, and no one on this board chose to ask the Attorney General for opinion to see if that was in fact a right or just opinion. Also, this I find is more important in the fact that I know that he had the records. And this is in Chapter 9. All records, reports, documents, and other material delivered or transmitted to council by state shall remain the property of the state and shall be returned by council to state at council's expense at termination or expiration of this contract. All records, reports, documents, pleadings, exhibits, or other material related to this contract and are obtained or prepared by council in connection with the performance of these services contracted for herein shall become the property of the state and shall upon request be returned by council to state at council's expense at termination or expiration of this contract. Based on what I'm telling you about the evidence that was provided by Chantel or produced by Chantel, evidently there were numerous documents, and those documents had either disappeared, lost, covered up, or something. But I think this committee should request from Mr. Townsend those documents in accordance with his contract and review and see what the facts are about this. That's one place that it appears that that's an old complaint that I had, and it may have been satisfied, but I would suggest that contract says different. And I don't know what this commission would choose to do about it, but I think the contract is plain in a layman's term. To me, it may have some lawyerese in it that I don't understand.
I haven't seen a report. I have not seen a report.
We don't have one. That was Eulis and my first meeting, is that meeting, and there was no written report given to anybody.
I guess if the rules say you're supposed to do one, you should do
He
it.
gave an explanation, I recall, at the meeting.
Yeah.
I don't know, and maybe it might be worthwhile having someone go through that testimony from that meeting of why he was not doing a written report, because I think you asked and I think he gave an answer. And I'm not clear on what it was.
Well, no, would
but
you,
when I read the rules, I thought
She's
a
right.
report should be written, so I don't.
well, would you take a look at the issue,
Sure.
Lenore, and let us know whether you believe under the rules we should get a written report so
Okay.
that we can, so we'll know.
Right, and based on the contract, which I read earlier, Do you see in that he's required to submit all documentation?
Oh, I do think that all of the documents as lawyers in general, when we handle cases, they belong to our clients.
Right.
And so, you know, whatever I do for State Police Commission belongs to State Police Commission.
Why didn't you make another request, since obviously we now have some documents since the last time you had made the request that we
We
didn't
produced
have?
them to Mr. Aswell and to the advocate.
Okay. But there's no final report in that.
And there was not. I did not see one.
And that's required under your rules.
We're going, that's what we've asked Lenore to look into, whether or not that is required under the rules, and we'll address it if it is.
Okay.